What's happening, Carolina fans? Welcome to Two Fans in the Stands, a podcast related to all things Carolina Panthers and North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm your co-host Tony.
And I'm your co-host CJ.
Let's go. CJ, what's happening with you, cuz? How you feeling?
Confused. Very confused.
What's
Very,
what you
very, very confused because I don't know which damn Carolina Panthers team is going to show up Saturday.
Hey man, they are who they are. I've been saying that all year, but lately, especially the past 2 weeks, we I have come to the I have come to the reality that we are who we are, and who we are is not as good as most people think. I know we are fans and we want to believe and hope for the best, but sometimes, the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? The truth is we just not that good right now.
Yeah, but the truth is kind of muddled though, because some games
The
we look
truth
like a
ain't
playoff
muddled.
team. No, it is kind of, and I say that because of the performances that they put out. Because
Okay.
sometimes they look like a playoff team, and then sometimes they look like the team who's got the number one pick. I just want them to choose one and stick with it. If you're gonna be sorry, just be damn sorry. If you're gonna go out there and be good, shoot, be good.
Right, right,
You get what I'm
right.
saying? Like that's my thing. Quit throwing me through the emotional ringer. And it's wild because, like I said last episode, every time I get a little inkling of damn hope, and I'm like, you know what, we got a shot this week, and they go out and lay an egg.
And I think it was at the week 10. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna continue to get my blood pressure up and be mad and online looking for a psychiatrist. I'm not gonna let them do this to my life. I was like, you know what? This is crazy. They are who
Not a
they are, not
psychiatrist.
right, not who I want them to be, who I think they could be. Because I'm trying to wish for all the best for Steve Wilkes. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point,
Yeah,
it's all about getting Steve Wilkes hired to me, and that's the main thing that I want to see going forward. I know
yeah.
once you get an established head coach in there, and there are going to be some things that they're going to there's going to be some things that's overturned. Yeah, I guess that's
hmm
the word I'm looking for.
It's gonna be
Overturned
some.
during the
It's
off
gonna be some
seasons.
cats that get fired. Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some cats to get fired. There's gonna be some players be released. There's gonna be some major changes within the organization, because I believe if Steve Wilkes get the job, he's going to really have the opportunity, him and Scott Fitterer, to retool the team and mold it to fit their scheme and
hmm
what they see as the Panthers' identity going forward. It's no
Oh yeah.
longer going to be the Matt Rule the Matt Rule era, because even though he's not there, you talking about 3 years of draft picks that was all him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got
Pretty
to
much.
weed out those players, and you got to bring in your players. But yeah. So let's get right to it. What are you looking for in this matchup with the Lions?
A win. Plain and simple. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm looking forward to is a win. That's
Okay,
all I want to see. Whether they're gonna do it or not is a different story. But now on some real talk here, the
okay.
defense needs to do a complete 180 and revert back to the defense to play against Seattle, defense to play against Denver and won games. Held the ground attack basically inept versus those two teams. And
I,
because the
Go
thing
ahead.
is, we got a lot to contend with coming in Saturday, because you got Detroit. Not only you got to deal with Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got to deal with what's his man name, DJ Shark, and then you got
Hmm.
Jameson Williams, who just came off
Talk
of
about it.
the IR.
IR.
This
Yeah.
dude's first damn catch was like a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think it was
His
41-yard touchdown, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, hell, I give him extra 20 yards because it looked good. You know, I mean, hell, his first NFL catch was a damn touchdown. You know,
Right.
and then on top of that, you still got Jamal Williams, who has really taken over that primary back role for them this year because DeAndre Swift is in and he's not hurt, but they're still, they're still like a tandem,
He
kind of like we
stays
do
hurt.
Chuba
He
Hubbard.
stays hurt too much, and he is a red zone
Yeah.
monster. You get them in the red zone, and 9 times out of 10, Jamal Williams is going to score some kind of way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wish I'd
Yeah.
have picked him up on a daggone fantasy team, but you know, it's another L for me there. But
Right. Right.
but yeah, and and I'm gonna kind of combine a couple shows into one here, and for the first time this season, our injury report is null. Everybody
Yeah,
that
I
was on the
was.
injury report was a full participant today in practice. So, hopefully that stays that way tomorrow and into the game. But the Panthers are healthy,
I
so
was
we'll
surprised.
see.
I was surprised to see that yesterday when I before I watched the Steve Wilkes Thursday night press conference or Thursday
Mhm.
press conference. I saw that the final injury report for this weekend came out, and we had nobody on there. I was like, did did everybody take a magic pill or something? Like how in the hell out of all season when you know you got people that's injured throughout the season and everybody know you never 100% healthy throughout the season, you just do your best to get on the
Yeah.
field. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh yeah, nobody's hurt this week. I was like, what? I was like, well, maybe
Mhm.
this is a good sign. Maybe this is God is shining down on the Carolinas and we get ready to make some things happen these last 3 weeks. Okay, so
Hey,
we'll
I
see.
hope so.
We'll see how it translate. We'll see how it translate.
I hope so. We had one wide receiver that torched us last week. One wide receiver completely
Yeah,
torched us all game, especially on third down. Killed us on third down the entire game. It was run, 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 throw the ball to Johnson. And now we got a whole trio to deal with, plus the tandem in the backfield. I
yeah.
I, I can't lie. Diehard Panthers fan, but I'm not feeling too good about this one. I'm not.
I understand. Hey, and there's no need to get your hopes up high. Just let the remaining 3 games play out how it's going to play out. Accept it, and then we move on. I'm not going to get my hopes up high for anything. I was telling my wife the other day. I was like, you know what? As bad as we have played, as worse as our record is, we play in the worst division in the league, and we still one game out of the playoff. We still one game
Yeah,
out from winning the division. Now, what is our chances of winning the division? I don't know. I ain't gonna try to throw no number out there. I'm not gonna try to uh come up with no hypothesis or anything. I'm not doing nothing. It is what it is. I'm just gonna watch these 3 games, and whatever happens, happens. I'm not
you
gonna
know
do it.
what?
My
No,
blood pressure
no,
good. I talked to my
no,
doctor. He said keep doing it. Yes, I am too. You can say
no,
whatever you
no.
want to say. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. They're not gonna kill me.
Oh no, no. I'm not saying you not do what you're not gonna do. I was saying no for me. That's why I was saying no.
Oh,
You know what? You know what? No, I'm not about to sit here and do this. No, I think they got a damn good shot at making the playoffs. I think they got a damn good shot at winning this game this weekend. I honestly do. I can't even sit here in front. I
I,
honestly do. And hold on, and I say that because of what I've seen on the field. It's just a matter of them going out there and doing it for the last 3 weeks. That's where I'm coming at with this
so
because
your confidence is high that they're gonna be able to go out there and do it these last 3 weeks. That what you're saying?
my
Is
confidence
that what
is
I'm
high in
hearing?
the fact that I know they can do it. My confidence is not high in the fact that will they do it.
Okay. All right.
But
All right.
I've got to I gotta
So you
root my
keeping hope
boys on.
alive.
I am, man. And I promise you, every week, it feels like when I give them a shot, they lose, and when I say they're gonna get their ass beat, they win. But
That's
I,
why
I'm
that's
I'm
why I'm not saying nothing. That's why I'm
I
not
don't care.
saying nothing. I,
I'm gonna speak
nope.
my mind. I need them to go out there and win. I think they got a damn good shot to make the playoffs, but it's just the fact that are they gonna go out there and take advantage of this opportunity, or are they gonna go fumble the ball? So
Like do they really understand that they have a damn good shot? That's the thing. Like you can say it all day, I can say it all day, but what are they saying in that locker room? Or do they really believe in themselves enough to 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 feel like they have a chance to make the playoffs? Despite everything that's happened this season, the coaching changes, the quarterback carousel, the poor tackling, everything that's has transpired so far in the first 16 weeks, 15 weeks of the season, do you think they believe that through it all that they still have a chance to make the playoffs?
I don't know. And I'll add another group in there. Do the damn coaches believe they got a shot to make the playoffs? And and like I said, I think Steve Wilkes has done enough to get higher. But my thing is, does Ben McAdoo believe that they still got a shot at the playoffs? Because their offensive game plan for this past week wasn't it. Y'all even throw, Al Holcomb in there. That defensive game plan, what was not it, especially after you see
Mhm.
Keith Taylor getting torched for what, 3.5 straight quarters?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Horn was on Johnson for the first couple catches that Taylor gave up the picking. So then they switched him, and they sat right
Mhm.
there and allowed that man to get washed for 3.5 quarters.
They didn't even
Three
have no
and a
help for
half
them over the
quarters.
top.
None. I promise you, they was playing man to man. It seemed like for the rest of the game, and Deontay Johnson was just out there just doing, faking, turning
Yeah.
on the dime. I mean, I seen one play where he ran backwards 5 yards and then turned around and ran the boy over to get the first down.
Yeah. It sound like we still venting about the Pittsburgh game. Let's get back on this Detroit.
Hey, that was part
Hey.
of my explanation as to why I think that they got a good shot. You look,
Oh,
you asked me
okay.
that question. That's how I
Okay.
had to answer it. Okay.
Okay. You had to go back to come forward. That what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, okay, all
Okay, I
right, yeah.
got you.
Back to Detroit. You know, yes, I think they got a good shot to win because Detroit defense statistically is just as bad as ours is statistically. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's
maybe.
true. I think it's going to come down to the trenches, and
Mhm,
can we slow their offense down? Because right now they rolling. I think they won
yeah,
six games in a
out of
row, or
7.
six of their past seven. Yeah, so we
They
we, we
started
got
the
to find a
season
way to
1 and
slow the
6.
offensive down. The offense down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started 1 and 6. They're now 7 and 7. I would really
Hmm.
hate to be the team that let the Detroit Lions get over 500. No disrespect to any Detroit fans out there. I have no issue with your team, but I don't want to be the team that allows Detroit to get over 500. I
Yeah,
don't.
that would be nice, but we'll see. Well, for me, it's just I would like to see a better passing game. I would like to see us. I know we're a run first team and we want to establish the run. I get that, but at some point in time, you have to be able or be willing to throw the ball over the top. When defenses are stacking 8, 9 in the box, they because they know what you want to do. They know what your identity is. You have to take advantage of that. You have to take
Yeah, you
advantage of
do.
that. And if we got a number one wide receiver on the outside that we paying $21 million a year to, if you can't beat a man 1-on-1 or consistently get open and take advantage of that 8-man box or 9-man box, however many they put in there, then I'm starting to question who you are as a number one wide receiver. Not only that, the other wide receivers, you know.
Yeah.
we have to get to the point to where teams are bringing 8 and 9 men in the box. We have to put some over the top, get them to back up. You know what I'm saying? Make them come out that 8 man box. Make them come out that single high safety. You know, make them
Yeah,
quit
I'm with
crowding
you.
the line of scrimmage. So I want to see a better passing game. To me, that would make a more well balanced offense, and definitely better tackling from the defense. That tackling last week was like going
Atrocious.
back watching the first half of the season. That was some horrible tackling from defense. And I said this before on his player spotlight, and I hate to put him on you know kind of like putting him on blast, but it was true what I was saying about Jeremy Chin. He has bad eyes and bad technique. He has no business on one-on-one coverage with a receiver in the slot. You are not a slot corner. You are a big safety hybrid linebacker. I don't understand why they got him trying to play a corner in the slot. He's not good in pass coverage. He he gets eaten up in pass coverage. Period. Point blank. Full stop. That's not his strength. I wish they
Mm.
really quit doing it. Unless he checking the tight end or something, he has no business checking the wide receiver, especially a small wide receiver that has that quick twitch or just that sudden movement. His game is not tailored for that. His eyes, he has dirty eyes and they're not disciplined. And what I mean by that is when teams are motioning and they going they throwing all this smoke and mirrors at you, it's like you can't decipher what it is. Okay, if all this is going on over here to the left, the play is probably coming to the right. Cause they're not
Hmm.
telegraphing and telling you exactly where the play is. You know what I'm saying? So they all the smoke and mirrors is to the left. So the play is coming to the right. It's like it takes him 2 to 3 seconds to figure out where the play is going. By that time, the play has already happened.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point, and I think it comes down to film study too. I think they got
Yeah,
to get
that
better at
too.
that.
That
And
too.
yeah, it's yeah.
I
Like I
mean, yeah.
said, I still think they got a shot. I still think they got a chance. I honestly I think they, like you said, they have Chin doing too many of the wrong things that doesn't suit his talents. And I think
Right.
once they figure that out, there'll be a better defense for it. And I think maybe part of that will be them bringing in more players. And maybe we'll see what Steve Wilks and if Al Holcomb is still the defensive coordinator next year, if
Yeah.
Wilks is hired on as the head coach, you know what their scheme will be going forward. Because they haven't had all season and a full off season, to put in their game plan to get their
Right. I mean, that's
system
true.
tweaked and tuned the way that they want it to be from the start of the season. So we'll see, because like I keep saying, the flashes are there. You keep seeing the flashes. You keep seeing what this defense can be, and then they go out and it's almost like they have a game where they're like, oh wait a minute, we supposed to be playing football this week. Oh man, I thought that was tomorrow. And that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you see it. They have games where they up around there knocking people's heads off. They're tackling like nobody's business. Shaq Thompson, I think it was the Seattle game. And maybe that's because he was home, or he went to school at Washington. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but they weren't. It wasn't the stuff that you saw last week, and I know we kind of jumping back and forth, but that's got to translate again to this upcoming game, because even though we got beat by Pittsburgh, I honestly think the talent level of the receivers and of the running backs, and Detroit's offensive line as their body of work over the entire season, that
Right.
talent level is going up this weekend from what we saw last weekend.
Yeah.
So they gonna
Yeah.
have they
The
gonna
the
have a challenge.
the matchup that I don't want to see, that I think will be a long day for the Panthers offense of line, is Aiden Hutchinson on Taylor Moton. I don't want to see
Mm,
that. But if you are a defensive coach that's worth your salt, that's the matchup that you would create. You will put your strength on the weakness. And right now, Taylor Moton is the weakest. He's the weak link on our offensive line. And I just want to
yeah,
see our offense I want to see the offense. I want to see the offensive line reestablish themselves. The
yeah.
way they got whooped last week, I hope they come out this week with a different hunger, different mentality, and get
Mhm,
back to bulldozing and pancaking and grinding out
mhm.
some
Yeah,
yards for the run game. I know Deontay Foreman is pissed. He only had 9 yards on 10 carries last week. So I know that the offensive line, them backs, I think they're going to be hungry to to prove people wrong or get that bad taste out their mouth from last week against Pittsburgh. So those are my three things,
yeah.
man. The better passing game, better tackling from the defense, and the offensive line reestablish the line. And as
Mhm.
always, take care of the ball and create turnovers.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I will kind of add on to the thing about the offensive line too. I think another thing will help, and I keep going back to McAdoo because I ain't gonna lie, I don't want him to be here next year. I really don't. I hope they move on from him and bring somebody
Me
else
too.
in.
Me
You,
too.
you
I hope
know,
that too.
but my thing is, it's third down and 5, 6 or whatever. You know, and you Sam hikes the ball. He goes back in the pocket, and and this is just my take on this. It seems like they kept running whatever the longest route developing play they could find every time on those downs.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was a case where Sam may have missed a receiver or two that came open, and the line wasn't playing at its best. But that's another thing that I don't get. Okay, if they're starting to get pressure on, they're starting to get to the quarterback, and it's like third down and manageable,
Yeah.
but all your routes are going, off the damn screen.
Well, one thing I will say, as a whole, as a unit, as far as the offensive line, last week was the worst game that they have played collectively as a unit all year,
All
because
season. Yep.
everybody was getting their ass whipped up front. Everybody,
Yeah, they were.
from the left tackle to the right tackle,
Hmm.
wasn't no in between, wasn't no beating the bush. Everybody got that work last week, so that's why I
Yeah.
say I hope they come back with that hunger, with the attitude, and reestablish the offensive line and get the running game going, and hopefully we can get the passing game going off of that.
Yeah. Preach.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
As always, hire Steve Wilkes and keep pounding.
Yeah. Well, that would do it for us on Two Fans in the Stands Week 16 preview of the Carolina Panthers versus the Detroit Lions at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out after the game as we give a full game recap of the Panthers and Lions matchup. As always, Panthers Nation, keep pounding.